Hello, 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 everyone. I hope you had a wonderful New Year's because it is already the second week of New Year's. And I am praying that everyone is sticking to their resolutions, even though I don't believe in resolutions. I'm praying that you have come to some resolutions that you need to do some things to be better. And I hope you're doing that. Well, this is Tanya Barbie of I Am Still a Rose. In spite of it all, no matter what challenges we're facing, I'm still a rose in spite of. I'm here tonight to talk to you about ignoring red flags. We consistently be in relationships and we don't know what's going on, but we feel that something isn't right. Those are red flags. When we receive a lot of information and we can't process it, it doesn't make sense. It's never gelling. It's never coming to a point where we're getting something out of it and we're always confused. Those are warning signs. And worse, if you're in a new relationship, that's what I want to talk about tonight. If you're in a new relationship and things are just not gelling, you feel like you're being warned, you feel like you're being tugged, that pulled away from that person. It's not right. And many times it's not enough for us because of our nature. We don't want to give up. So we keep pushing and we keep pushing and we keep ignoring what we see and we don't give up. And as a result of that, we lose. So I have a few stories to share with you tonight about people that have lost their life as a result of ignoring red flags. I want to start off by one that's very recent. A close family member of mine has lost a family member as a result of domestic violence. They've been together 15, 20 years. 15 or 20 years. Now, if you're dating somebody, you're in love, they got this thing about them. They got a little swagger. They make you feel good. They make you feel happy. And they push you a lot. And you say, stop, that hurts. Don't do that. Don't play with me like that. I'm a female. Don't shove me like that. Oh, girl, I was just playing with you. No, he wasn't. Because men early on, little boys rather, early on are taught not to hit girls. And they're certainly taught not to shove them around like they do boys. They don't typically play horseplay with young girls. So if they're in their 20s, 30s, and they're shoving you, pushing you with their fists, shoving you like that, that's only the beginning. That's only the beginning. And Lord forbid if they curse at you, call you names, and then hours later, they're buying you flowers. Some have even bought diamond rings. If they're doing that to make up for what they did they knew was wrong, and you forgive them because of the luxurious gifts that they give you, or a simple smile and a kiss, or maybe they make passionate love with you, you forgive them and you forget what they did. So let me explain something to you. Every time you forget what they did, and every time you forgive them for what they did, each time it escalates. It escalates and it gets worse. It gets worse. That shove becomes a hit, a punch. That little smack in the face where they're just playing with you becomes a punch in the face. That verbal abuse becomes a slam in the wall. It gradually gets to an escalated physical altercation, and it gets worse and it gets worse and it gets worse. So I'm here to plead with anybody that consistently ignores somebody shoving them, and they're at the beginning stages of their relationship. I plead with you to close the door on that relationship. I don't care how he got a swagger. I don't care what kind of car he drives. I don't care what kind of job he has. I don't care what kind of penthouse apartment he has. He is no good for you. Anytime you allow anybody to abuse you in any fashion, you have given them the authority to do it repeatedly if you remain in that person's life. If you consistently stay with someone, be in a relationship with anybody that constantly hurts you, it's only going to get worse. At some point, you have to say, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. And be for real with it. Another thing you can't do is keep saying, I'm done. This is it. I can't do this no more. I hear women say that all the time. I just can't do it anymore. But they haven't stopped doing anything. We have to follow through with what we say we're going to do. Nobody loves you who puts a fist in your face. So back to why I'm here tonight on this topic. I was watching the news and heard a story about, and I don't want to call out their names in the situation because it's people in the family are so hurt over this. They can't believe it because this woman was so in love with her husband, helped him raise his children, helped support him while he was in and out of jail. She was there for him. She kept being welcoming as he was getting out of jail. She had her house ready for him. I'm here to support you. What you need, I'm your wife. I'm here for you. But early on, from what I gathered, he hit her. He choked her. He destroyed her early on, but she stayed with him. She was in love. I don't understand why we love people that hurt us. I don't understand it. I almost think for us to love people who hurt us, we can't love ourselves. How can we love ourselves if we're allowing somebody to hurt us? How can we truly love who we are if we're being punched, if we're being choked, if we're being yelled at, if we're being berated in front of people, if we're being told we're ugly, we're unattractive, we're too fat, we're too stupid? How in the world can we love ourselves if that's what we're around day in and day out? Why should that not be a no-brainer? We can't accept this. We can't tolerate anybody doing this. Why isn't this where we draw the line when somebody hurts us in this fashion? Well, to make a long story short, this man finally, I say finally because it escalated to her death. She's dead now. And it just happened. Excuse me, my TV just popped on. Excuse me, 1 second.
She is one of a sign, but that's not.
So she is
Prettiest girl I know.
she is dead now, and she's not coming back.
How are you, Clark?
Anytime I need to turn this TV off, ain't this a trip? Anytime you want to turn it on, you can't turn it on. When you want to turn it off, it keeps going. This woman is gone now. She was only in her 40s. Now they're looking for him in the DMV area. Now, granted, he's been in and out of jail. From what I understand, at the beginning of their relationship, he was abusing her. But she loved him, so she stayed with him. It's not that much love in the world. And too many of us are ignoring signs. And I believe when a person keeps hitting you and you stick around, they're beginning to hate you because you won't stop it. So they first of all don't have any power to stop. But if you're continuing to be their punching board, they resent you even more because you're not stopping them from hurting you. And they're looking at you like, what's wrong with you? You act like you want me to hit you. You act like you want me to hurt you because you're still here. It's a sick situation. And we have to do a better job in our own lives of loving ourselves enough to even know the signs, to even have the discernment to know something isn't right. I'm a single woman and I date occasionally. And as I'm dating, my antennas are way up because I'm not lonely. I'm not desperate. I just know as a woman my age, you should have some companionship because it's healthy. And I don't mean to lay up. I mean just to have conversation. So that's my intention at this time in my life. But when I start hearing the person say, hey, I need you in my life. I want you in my life. You're just the person I've been looking for. You're it. I love the way you act. I love your style. I love the way you carry yourself. I love what you're doing for women. Oh, I just love all that about you. I want you to be my wife. Excuse me? This is our first date? And you want all this? Yeah, I know what I want. I know he ain't heard nothing about what I wanted. He has sat there, and you guys, this has happened more than one time. This is not saying I'm walking in the room ready to be married. I let that be known up front. I don't need marriage. I've had it 4 times. I'm good. I'm okay with who I am and where I am in my life. But for somebody to not know you and they already planning the wedding, that's a sign. And that's a sign. Don't think that's cute. Don't think, oh, he loved me. No, that means he's desperate for some reason. It could very well be he might be 65 years old and he's ready to settle down. I got that. But for even a 65-year-old to be ready to settle down with somebody he doesn't know after one date, please tell me that's not a red flag. And we have to stop thinking everybody that tells us we all of that truly means we all of that. And do yourself a favor and start thinking to yourself, now, why is he telling me all this? He just met me. Now, don't be the angry Black woman and doubt everything somebody says. Just at least evaluate what they're telling you. Give it some thought. Don't be so quick to jump. Because what do you think pimps are telling these women that they just meet? How do you think that person ends up being a prostitute? Because he fed her everything she wanted to hear before he took control of her mind. And if we're gullible, we're the first ones that's going to happen to. We are going to be a victim repeatedly if we don't understand and react to red flags. Don't ignore red flags. You react to red flags. I'm always wondering, when a woman gets lured from a bar and ends up dead in the woods, did she get a warning sign? Don't get in his car. Stop talking to him. Don't you see something's not right with him? Does she sit there the whole time she's getting those warning signs and just feed into what he's telling her? And he knows she's feeding into what he's telling her. So he's bringing her in. And that's how he lures her to her demise. Which means we have to be more vigilant. We have to be taking care of ourselves. We have to be thinking at all times. And we can't be so desperate for compliments that we jump and giggle and think that the world is yours because some man told you you so fine and he want to marry you and he just met you. Many times that's just control. Amen, sister. Tina says it's time to wake up. Yes, we have to wake up. Our sister girl is dead in her 40s because she was married to a man that she loved who beat her. And I know the drill, baby, I'm sorry. He beat her and he killed her. Forgive me. I know the drill, baby. I'm sorry. I ain't gonna hit you no more. I don't know what got over me. You know, you made me mad when you didn't cook my meal. I told you I wanted pork chops and you made steak and you don't know how to make steak. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I ain't gonna hit you no more. Please don't leave me. Please don't call your mama because they don't like me. Yeah, they don't like you because they know you hitting their daughter. They got this mind thing where they try to manipulate you to tell you everybody in your family talk about you. Everybody in your family can't stand you. They say you this, they say you that. And then a lot of times he uses what you have told him to manipulate that information to make you think it had to come from them because only you and your family members knew, but you forgot. You told him all that. So the next thing you know, you don't want to see your mama or your daddy or your sisters or your brothers because he has deliberately separated you. because now he can go in for the kill. In this case, the kill, because they're tired. They're worn out from protecting you. They're worn out. They don't know what else to do but pray. And God offers us a way out. We just don't always accept it. And if we ignore his way out, you got your demise. So I'm here tonight to plead with you to don't be so caught up in, he loved me. I need this man. I don't want to be by myself. I am 57. And God knows I am so grateful. I'm so grateful to be alive. I'm so grateful looking back in my day, the things I was into with my mans, just for love. No, not anymore. I grew up. And I do these lives to help others grow up. Because I know it's hard. I know it's so much easier to ignore. Because at least you won't be by yourself. But do you want to be by yourself? Do you want to be with somebody that will ultimately cause you to your demise? This young lady is dead. She's gone. She has an 11-year-old child and one in college that she helped raise. That was his child. And he's somewhere hiding. What a coward. He done slashed this woman, killed her, and now he running. He's hiding. He's hiding now. The coward is hiding after he took this woman's life. Took his own child's mother's life. Took, his wife's life. They were married. I know another case where a good friend of mine's nephew killed his young children's mother because she asked for $100 in child support. He killed her on her job in North Carolina. He lured her outside and started stabbing her to death. Over $100. He could have got that from the cash store, whatever they call that store, easy cash. $100. Now he in jail for not even 20 years because they don't value our life, because he should have been in there for life. They should always factor in children being left alone because the state's got to usually take care of them. They should factor in all that. The situation, the fact that he lured her outside, premeditated, all that. And I'm sure, I'm not a lawyer, all that probably was factored in. But for 20 years, her mother won't ever see her again. Her children won't see her again. And they were divorced. So what are we doing? We got to do something better than what we're doing. You getting the signs, because God blesses us. Don't do that. Don't talk to him. He's lying to you. Something ain't right with this. I can't reveal what it is now, but something's not right with this. When you're feeling that, I'm going to give you another example. I married a bigamist. Now, of course, I didn't say I do to a bigamist, but later I found out he was a bigamist. I had signs, but this man quoted every scripture, a faithful member of a big church. He was kind. Everybody in my family loved him. He was extremely brilliant. but he was a con artist. But guess what? Day one, I knew something wasn't right. Day one, I knew it. But when he quoted them scriptures, I was like, Lord, I got me a religious man. I ignored it. And all I got was something ain't right. I was married to him for 8 years. And 8 years, I felt something ain't right. Something ain't right with this. So eventually, I asked God, reveal. That's in my first book, The Little Girl Inside. I talked about the whole thing. And I had some help, some spiritual intervention. And God is amazing how revelations was just hitting me, just all upside the head. I everywhere I turned, I was getting information about this man. And that's when I was ready to make the decision to call it quits. And I asked him to leave my premises because we got married and he moved in my home. And he said, well, I don't have anywhere to go. I don't know where I'm going to go. Boy, bye. You're not staying in here. You're not even my husband. I ignored the signs. I did a lot of research because I was really taken back by that. I was really taken back by that because I said, I'm smart, I'm educated. How did this happen to me? God said, why not? Who you think you are that something can't happen to you? Something happened to him. Something happened to Jesus. How come I think something can't happen to me? So when this happened to me, I said, oh my God, I got to share my story with a whole lot of people with the hopes that they won't go through the same thing or worse. Because what I found out from narcissists, because I did research, because I wanted to know why he chose me to do this too. They don't want no dumb women. A narcissist want a smart woman. They feel like when they sucker punch a smart woman, they got it going on. They here. They're no longer here. They have arrived. And he's still doing it. He's still out there sucker punching women. They won't read my book because they're ignoring the red flags. Oh, she don't know what she talking about. She just hating because he with me now. She just hating because she want him back. Boy, bye, girl, bye. I don't do these for fun. I ain't doing it for no money. I got a very good job. Of course, it would be nice to get more money. I'm doing it because I don't want any woman to lose their life over messing with a guy that's so dangerous that he takes your life and all you want is a man. All you want somebody with is to cuddle up with, because we all know married people and they look happy and you want what they have. But I'm here to tell you, you can get yours in God's time. Let God bring you what you deserve, not you go out and get a monster. Because out of desperation, we can't think. Out of the wrong mindset, we can't think. We have to embrace ourselves. We have to learn the good, the bad, and the ugly. So we can, when we're out there meeting people, we can tell. Antennas are all up. If you're broken, And I talk about brokenness all the time. I talk about brokenness begets brokenness. If you're out there broken, where somebody has beat you, you didn't heal, and you go out there, guess what you're going to meet? A person is going to do the same thing because you didn't heal. So you're going to attract just what you got out of. You got to heal. I had to heal. I had to heal because I was going in circles. I was meeting the same kind of people that were liars, cheaters, verbally abusive, because I ain't gonna let nobody hit me. Oh my gosh, I come from strong women. Just going in circles, just going in circles. And I said, wait a minute. When I wrote the first book, The Little Girl Inside, I said, ah, all these people are doing the same thing. What is going on? They're doing the same thing to one person. That's when I had to look inside. That's when I had to realize it was me. I had to make a change. I had to be that different person. I had to be accountable for me. And that's when I changed. That's when I could see a red flag. When you're all broken up, you can't see a red flag. You're lured into mess. You gotta work on yourself so that you can be prepared to know if you're working on yourself, you're not desperate. If you're working on yourself, you're not lonely. If you're working on yourself, you are getting prepared for that love of your life. And the love of your life will never hit you. The love of your life will never spit on you. The love of your life will never cuss at you. He might say a bad word, but he's not going to be spitting negative words in your face. He's not going to do that. That ain't love. That's hatred of himself. And he's just pouring it out on you because he don't know what to do with it, because many of us are mentally ill. But it's not your place to fix a mentally ill person. And it's not your place to take a mentally ill person in. That woman did that. And look what happened to her. She's dead now. My friend's nephew who killed that young lady, he was just out of jail. And she was probably fussing at him. I want my $100. I need my $100. She shouldn't have been even dealing with him. Let the courts get you your money. You on your job. Now she's dead. He killed her at her job. Over $100. And she deserves so much more. I think they had 3 children together. I know somebody who just had a baby. That man done already spit on her. He's already jealous of the baby. She spent too much time with that baby. Dude, he's an infant. What do you expect? If somebody spits on you, do you know that's a felony? Call the cops. Don't sit there. I can't believe you spit on me. I can't believe. Call the police. Keep the spit on you so they can see it and do their little DNA test or whatever they do, forensic science or whatever. Make sure they see what you're talking about. We got to stand up. Roses. I am still a rose. Roses don't let nobody beat on them and hurt them and talk to them any kind of way. Y'all made me mess up my outfit here. That's not what we do. We gotta grow. And if you love on you, you are not going to allow anybody to hurt you. Please don't ignore red flags. Red flags ignored can kill you. Don't ignore them. Report somebody putting their hands on you. I would fight them, but I don't want you to go that route because they may really get mad at you. But don't let anybody hurt you and let them to get away with it, because the more you allow them to get away with physically abusing you, it escalates. It escalates. And if you're dating somebody that's beating you and you have kids, God bless you. They're going to start beating your children. And I talked about a young boy who was killed by his the mother's boyfriend a few weeks ago. That baby's dead because she was so desperate for a man. She allowed him to beat that little 6-year-old boy. That's not love. That's hating yourself, hating everything about you. Anytime we're desperate for anything, it's not good. We ain't supposed to be desperate for nothing but a better relationship with God. Anything else, God's a jealous God. And I think they're going to let that woman off as long as she tell them everything about her boyfriend. And that's wrong, because she witnessed him hurting her child to death. Why can't she serve time too? Why should she get off because she's an expert witness? That makes no sense. Not an expert witness. She is the witness. Ladies, men too, because y'all ignore flags. Y'all know y'all be ignoring flags. Y'all be dealing with women who, I thought you said you was going to call me at 4:00. Where were you? Were you with her again? Are you still messing with your ex-girlfriend? Why aren't you calling me when you say you're going to call me? I text you at 5:00. You didn't text me back. Were you with her? Leave that woman alone, because she crazy. Y'all be cheating on your wives with some crazy women. I talked about that too. One woman actually went to the preacher's house and said, "You broke my heart." And she shot him in front of the wife and killed him. I bet you he had red flags. And she was an anger management counselor. Now she in jail because of her anger, because of her rage. And go figure, he was a married preacher, but he probably promised her, "I'm going to leave her and marry you." Red flag. Do you want somebody who cheating on a wife to be with you? Red flag on both of y'all. But desperation. I just want a man. I don't care if he got a husband, a wife. Don't matter. Just come on over here and love on me, because I'm desperate. I need somebody. I don't care who it is. Misery love company. So what if he cheating on her? She ain't doing him right no way. And be careful about meeting men that say, "I'm married, but we ain't sleeping together. She in one room and I'm in the other." Really? I don't want to hear that. "Well, we ain't getting along and we don't have sex no more, and it just is what it is. So I'm kind of single." When you think about it from that angle, What you doing tonight? What you do? Who you with? Oh, I ain't got nobody. I'm single. Well, can I come kick it with you sometime? And that's how it starts. Red flags was all over the place when he told you, I live in the same house with my wife. That's it. I live in that same house with it. Wife came out of his mouth. Well, we going through divorce. You're still married though. Call me when you divorce. No, don't get in the middle of that. That's still somebody's husband. A red flag. Somebody shoving on you. Red flag. Somebody laying up with you for 5 years. Ain't said nothing about going to Jared's to get you a ring. Red flag. Red flag on both y'all's part. Because we shouldn't be laid up with somebody 5 years and don't know where we going. Red flag. And all them people that's telling you, you don't know you pretty. You really need a man to tell you you look good. They will tell you what you want to hear, love. Beautiful rose that you are. They have been groomed by their daddies, lack of daddies, uncles, player pimped uncles. They've been groomed. They know what to tell us. They know how to make us smile. They know how to make us blush. But even if we didn't have a father figure in our lives, we have to learn to love ourselves, to give ourselves what we need. And that way, when we hear the game, we'll know the game. But if you constantly need somebody to, uplift you, you'll fall for the okie doke. You'll fall for the red flags. You will ignore the red flags. And I'm here to tell you, we don't need to fall for the red flags. That lady lost her life. That lady is gone. All because she kept ignoring the red flags. They were all in her face because he's already tried to choke her years ago, is my understanding. When somebody puts their hands around your neck to inflict pain, harm, they are trying to hurt you. They're trying to kill you. They don't love you. You don't stay with anybody who is trying to hurt you, because that hurting could very well escalate. In this case, it escalated to death because all those flags were ignored. Ladies, beautiful roses that you are. Thank you, Tammy. Beautiful roses that you are. Receive it. I am still a rose. My legacy, my dream, what I want to leave behind is every woman looks at themselves and say, I am still a rose. I don't care what he did to me. I don't care how he lied to me. I don't care how I was betrayed. I don't care how I was raped. I don't care how I was abused. I am still a rose in spite of it all. That's my dream for each one of you. That's why I do what I do. That's why I do. I don't do it for y'all to tell me how great I am, because I've been where everybody else has been. I don't feel I'm great. I just feel I'm better. I feel I'm better because I've improved on me. I've become that rose through trial and error. I've become that rose through forgiveness. I've become that rose through healing. I've become a beautiful person with makeup on to hide my all of that. I'm thinning out up here. I'm still a rose in spite of. But I tell you one thing, I'm not. I'm not desperate. I'm not looking for love in all the wrong places. I can see a red flag from 50 yards away. I can smell a red flag. I can go to functions and men won't talk to me. I used to walk out, go back to my car and be tearful. Now I'm grateful because now I know what that's all about. A player ain't gonna go nowhere he think he can't play. And that's what we want. Why are we always looking for the game, looking for the fun? Why are we always looking for the challenge? Why? That's going to take 10 years off of you. I know people my age that look 10, 15 years older than me because they've put up with mess from husbands, from boyfriends that they've been with for years, and they are miserable. That ain't a rose. A rose works on herself. A rose demands respect. A rose wants to be beautiful. A rose don't let herself go. A rose will not let anybody abuse her. A rose will not let anybody betray her repeatedly. And definitely not hit her repeatedly. You might get away with it one time, but you don't go back to it over and over again. You make a decision. Did he just hit me? I got to tell you this one story. I dated this guy and we had an Ike and Tina Turner relationship. Where what I mean by that is he spoiled me rotten, always buying me beautiful things. And but he was jealous. And when I went out with my girlfriend, he would be at my house waiting for me when I came home, wondering, no, did I give out any phone numbers? And he would be fussing at me and making face like that. Looking back, he looked like a gorilla, but I was in love. Okay, don't judge me. And my dad had just died, and my girlfriends took me out to just make me feel better. And the next day, he had some words with me, and I had some words back to him because I'm like, don't you talk to me like that. Don't be cussing at me. I'll do it back to you. And he hauled off and tried to smack me. Did you hear what I said? He tried to smack me because he realized as his hand was coming to my face, he realized it was me. And I guess he said, oh, it's Tanya. It's not somebody else. So he didn't smack me. He went like that. But I lost my mind because I knew he wanted to smack me. The thought that he wanted to smack me. So let me tell you what I did. My dad had bought me this beautiful Explorer. It was a brand new truck. I got in my car. Now, y'all quiet, right? He did this. He didn't smack me, y'all, but he brushed past my face because he realized he had second thoughts. Good thing for him, but it was too late because in my mind, he did smack me because he was thinking about it. So I got in my car. I'm mad. I'm fuming. I'm like a crazy, just like Ike and Tina Turner, I'm telling you. So I got in my car, my truck, and do you know My dad had just died, remember? I put my foot on the pedal, accelerator, as we call it. And he was in the middle of the street. I know you're not gonna hit me. I know. The car, I went, it wouldn't go. But I'm telling you, I tried to hit him. The mere thought that he was gonna try to smack the heck out of me, my face, I tried to run him over. But my car wouldn't move, y'all. And the car, the ignition was in it and everything. And I knew that was my dad because I was going to run over him. I was going to run over him. So the moral of that story is don't be in relationships where you fighting and cussing each other all the time. And your heart is always beating fast because you're so stressed out. That ain't love. Well, you're going to die sooner than you should have been dying because that's too much stress on your heart. Don't do that. So please, love on yourself. Cassandra says, yes, loving me. Thank you, Cassandra. Yes. Hey, Kenneth. He said, keep doing it. We have to love ourselves. Yes, I am still a rose. In spite of it all, you are too. But you can't call yourself no rose if you letting somebody punch you in the face over and over again. It's too late to even talk about it when they kill you. And remember, it's going to escalate. It's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. Please stand up for your rights. Don't ignore a red flag. Don't ignore one of them. Because as there is one, there are several. And if you ignore one, you will ignore the rest of them. And by that time, you're in a relationship, a full-blown relationship with this person. And then it's going to be too late to get out because you're all entangled. You love him. You love his swagger. You love what he say to you. But I assure you, if you start saying what you need to hear from a man to yourself, I'm beautiful, I'm blessed, I'm smart, I love myself. If you start repeatedly saying those things, you don't need to hear them from somebody else. And yes, if you're in a relationship, you love to hear, wow, you look good today. Oh, you sure we got to go to work today? You want to stay home? All those are good things from a good person. But you don't want to get those same compliments from someone who is full of red flags, who could ultimately take your life from one extreme to the next. So, in closing, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for all of the support you've given me. This is a brand new year. Make some changes. My friend tonight told me I've changed, I've grown, and he's known me over 30 years. And that was a blessing to hear that from somebody who's known me that long, because I work on changing every day. I want to be better. I want my supervisor to say, Tanya, I don't like how you handled what happened in the meeting today. You were a little snippy with the boss. Oh, well, thank you for bringing that to my attention. I'm going to work on that. And that's what I do. And that was just an example. But we need to want to get that kind of feedback. Don't be so, I can't believe that she said that to me. If two people said something negative about you and those two people don't know each other, it's true. And I believe that's God's way of telling you, you need to check yourself. You need to check yourself. Don't get all defensive. Work on it. Make a change. Change is good. And that's what we're going to talk about the first few months of this year about working on ourselves so that we can be that beautiful rose that God has intended for us to be. And the men, we're going to call y'all the black rose. Not because black is an ugly thing. Black is a beautiful thing. It's a powerful thing. It's empowering. It's inspiring. It's a caretaker. It's supposed to be security for us. It's going to be powerful. And I pray that each one of us embrace who we are and do our best to do that, so we won't be surrounding ourselves with people who don't like us, people who hurt us, people who don't think highly of us, people who don't respect us. When they don't respect us and we have them around us, it's because we don't like ourselves. And people who are mean can't hang around people who love themselves. They hang around people who don't like themselves, because those are the people they can abuse. When this is over, make sure you rewind that and hear it again. Mean people, abusive people, disrespectful people, they don't want to hang around people who love themselves. They don't want to hang around people who got something going on, who are empowering themselves. They don't want to be around strong people who got something going on. They want to hang around people who don't feel good about themselves, because those are the people that they can abuse. They abuse the weak. They abuse those that they can take advantage of. They abuse those who don't feel empowered. They abuse those who don't like themselves. And they certainly abuse those that hate themselves. And many of us aren't happy with our weight. We're not happy with our skin. We're not happy with our hair. We're not happy with our jobs. They smell us. They smell us coming. Ladies, the roses that you are, love yourself. Love yourself. Don't let nobody hit you. Don't let nobody disrespect you. Don't be in a relationship that is wrong for you. And by God, do not ignore red flags. Red flags get bigger and bigger and bigger. These beautiful ladies lost their life to their husbands. They both lost their life to their husbands. Alrighty, this is Tanya Barbie of I Am Still a Rose. In spite of it all, I hope to see you next week. On the 19th of January, I will have a very, very special guest. She is going to be talking about finances. Girl, you got to get your money right. Men too, you got to get your money right so y'all can take care of us roses, right? So we're going to have her come on. She is a millionaire and she's only in her 30s, y'all. I think she's in her 30s. I think she is in her 30s. I'm like, really? Okay, this is awesome. Very smart young lady. What I loved about what she said was, I looked around at a young age and I realized I want to do something different. And she did. And that's what she's going to talk about. WBGR online, Gospel Network, through Facebook on the 19th at 5:30 p.m. Be the Rose event is coming up. It's going to be in September, so make sure you save the date, September the 19th, 2020. More information is coming. I have some speaking engagement at some churches nearby, and I'm doing some things for some friends coming up real soon. Things are just popping. Do y'all say popping now, the young people? Thank you for joining. I love you guys. Keep doing what you're doing. Tammy says that was your dad telling you that he wasn't worth it. Yes, Tammy, it was, because he should have been run over. And he was in the middle of the street. Oh, you gonna hit me? You gonna hit me? Yeah, I'm gonna hit you. Just stand right there. And the car would not move, and it just kept going. And I could not move that brand new truck. You're right, it was my dad. He had just died a few days before that. So thank you all for joining. I hope to see you next Thursday at 9 o'clock. Don't be late. Please do not ignore those red flags. Please don't ignore them. You have to act on them immediately. You have to act on them. All right. No more loneliness. Get your music going. Burn some candles and get in the tub and dance to yourself. There is no read a good book. There is no excuse to be lonely. No excuse. I love you guys. I'm still Rose, and so are you. Good night. Till next time.